Radhe Radhe. So in this video, I'm going to discuss the find the grid of region average problem which occurred in today's LEETCODE challenge. So if you have any doubt regarding this, you can ping me up on Instagram. Even you can join my Discord server. I will provide both the links in the comment section. I'll pin them. The problem statement is very simple. You are given a grid and you have to convert into another grid. That is, as we know that whenever you are using pixels, it is from range to 0 to 255. So every element is in this range. Okay, and you have to find that whether you're going to find a 3 into 3 subgrid from the grid. Okay, and then check if the absolute difference between the consecutive or the adjacent elements is always lesser than equal to threshold. Okay, threshold is something which has been given. Over here it was 3. Okay, threshold was 3. So that is the thing. Okay, now for this case, if we check this grid of 3 into 3, the difference between 5 and 6 is 1, 6, 7, 1, all are 1. Okay, and if we check for these, so it is 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, so basically this is a valid grid. Now again, if we check for this grid, okay, check for this grid, so 6, 7, 1, 7, 10 is 3, 9, 10, 1, 10, 10 is 1, 12, 13, 1, 13, 10 is 3. Okay, and for all of them it is 0, for all of them it is 3, or all of them it is 3, so it is also a valid. Okay, so basically this is valid, this is valid, and for this you have to find the average of all of them, and for this also you have to find the average of all of them. Okay, for this the average is going to be 9. Clear? For this also the average is somewhat 9, because if you are rounding it off, okay, so it is 9. So from this we can say that for every element present in whichever group they are, it is going to be 9. Okay, so basically what it was is, for every element you have to check how many groups, how many such 3 into 3 grids that is present in, and in whichever 3 into 3 grid it is present in, you have to find the average of all of them. Okay, and the average of all of the grids, and the average of all the grids that the element is present in. Okay, so basically for 6 from this grid it gets 9, and from this grid it gets 9, and the average of 9 and 9 is 9. Okay, so that is 9. But for 5 the average of this is 9, and it is not present in over here. Okay, so since the average of this is 9, so basically the average of all the grids it is present in is 9. Okay, so this is how it works. And since in this case there are two grids and both of the grids are having 9 and it covers the whole thing, so everything is going to be 9. Okay, so that is a very simple thing. That is, you can understand for the question. So what you can do is, you can use a DP. Okay, DP of ij. So what this DP is going to do is, it is going to start from 2 and 2, and it's going to n minus 1 to n minus 1. So what this DP is going to do is, so let's say you have a grid like this, and since we are starting from 2 comma 2, that is 0 1 2 0 1 2, so that is from this position. So we are going to consider this position at the bottommost right position, and we have to check this grid if it is a valid grid or not. How we are going to check it? So simply like run a loop and check if the adjacent elements are lesser than equal to threshold or not. And if it is a valid group, at this position store the average of this thing, that is the addition of the 3 into 3 matrix by 9. Okay, at this position. Then at this position check for this one, at this position check for this one, and till you have to check it from here to over here. Okay, and once you're done with this, now you're going to run a loop from 0 to n and j is equal to 0 to m. Okay, and in this case you have to check, let's say there is an array, so let's say the resultant array or the answer array. Okay, so answer array is n into m. So in the answer array you have to find how many valid grids. Okay, so let's say count valid. Okay, so you have to find how many valid grids it is present in. Okay, how many valid grids is it present in, and the sum of all those valid grids. Okay, sum of all those valid grids. So how you are going to do it? So what you can do is, for example, for this dpij, you can make it ij2. Okay, In the first position, you're going to store the average, and in the second position, you have to store whether it is valid or not. So run a loop from, let's say, I j l m n o. Okay, so let's say L is from I uh, I plus, sorry, I to L is lesser than equal to I plus 2. Okay, L plus plus. Similarly for this also, J plus 2, and whatever the element you're taking. Now remember one thing, I plus 2 should not exceed n, and J plus 2 should not exceed m. Sorry, n minus 1 and m minus 1. So you can do one thing, you can make minimum of I plus 2 comma n minus 1, minimum of J plus 2 comma m minus 1. Okay, and for every element you have to check if this dpi of j of 1 is valid. Okay, then only count valid plus plus and sum valid plus is equal to dp I of j of 0. Okay, and once you're done with this, so now if count valid is equal to 0, let's say there is nothing invalid. Okay, so it has been given in the question that the answer I of j is going to be the grid I of j. Okay, and if it is not so, else it is going to be answer is going to be the sum of all the valid grids, that is sum valid by c, I mean count valid. Okay, so this is what you are going to do, and then return the answer array. Okay, return answer. So what it basically, so let me like do it over here. So for 5, so since the dp, okay, so the dp is going to be 1 2 3 4 1 2 3, right? So it is going to be like this over here, 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. Okay, so we know that we are going to check for this and this. Okay, so is this valid? Sorry, not this, sorry, 0 1 2 2 3 0 1 2. So we are going to check from 2 comma 2 to all the elements. Okay, so for these two elements, otherwise all of them are 0 valid 0 valid 0 sum 0 valid 0 sum 0 valid. Okay, all of them. From here, yeah, it is valid because you can see that this grid was valid. So the average of this was 9 and the average of this was 9, right? Now when we are going to check for this, you have to find the count from this in this grid. Okay, the number of count in this grid. So this was valid 1 and this was valid 1. Okay, so since only 1 is valid, so for this element count valid is 1 and sum valid is 9. So 9 by 1 is 9. So we get 9. For this element we get 2. Okay, so this is one is this one and the other is this one. So for this element count valid is equal to 2 and sum is equal to 9 plus 9. Okay, because 9 plus 9, that is 9 plus 9. So basically it becomes 9 plus 9 by 2 and 9 plus 9 by 2 is 9. So this is 9. Similarly for all the elements you can find it out. So that's it from my side. Thank you.